What if the monster you fear most is already inside you? Imagine walking alone through an ancient forest, the air thick with mist, shadows dancing across twisted roots. Suddenly, a presence makes itself known, not with sound, but with feeling, a tightening in your chest, a chill along your spine. You've entered the domain of the Yaksha. In ancient Indian tradition, the Yakshas were feared, spirit beings neither fully divine nor entirely demonic. They guarded treasures buried in the earth. They lurked in wild groves and crumbling temples. They were said to bring both protection and disease. And yet one truth remains. The Yaksha is not merely a creature out there. It is also a force within. What if I told you that even these demons can be transformed? That the Buddha, with unwavering compassion, did not slay them, but liberated them? Today, we dive deep into the tale of Yakshas, from their terrifying origin to their sacred redemption. And as you listen, I invite you to look inside. What part of you is fierce, chaotic, uncontrolled? And what would it mean if that part didn't need to be destroyed, only understood? Because if even a demon can bow before enlightenment, what then is possible for us? In early Indian cosmology, the Yaksha predates Buddhism. These beings were part of the natural folklore of India, spirits of the forest, mountains, and treasure. Their nature was ambiguous, sometimes protectors, sometimes predators. They were deeply associated with place, with sacred groves and remote spaces, often feared but also respected. When Buddhism arose, it did not reject these mythic beings. Instead, it transformed them. Yakshas appear throughout Buddhist texts, from the Pali Canon to later Mahayana scriptures. They are often described as powerful, wrathful spirits who, upon encountering the Dharma, undergo a change. Rather than remaining as threats, they are invited, or sometimes compelled, to become protectors of the Buddha and his followers. Some even make vows before the Buddha to safeguard monastics, temples, and travelers. This transformation isn't merely narrative. It reflects a core teaching of Buddhism. No being is beyond redemption. Even the wildest energies can be harnessed for good. In the famous Nyaya Sutta from the Daya Nikaya, we find King Vesava, the most noble of Yakshas, coming to protect the Buddha. He offers a chant, a protective incantation, to safeguard monks from malevolent spirits. This is a moment of cosmic alliance, where former demons become allies of the awakened ones. Yakshas also appear as temple guardians, fierce statues at the gates of monasteries throughout Southeast Asia. Their exaggerated expressions, bulging eyes, and sharp teeth are not meant to instill fear, but to symbolize vigilance. These spirits, once sources of danger, are now the sentinels of sanctity. It is not accidental that the Yaksha becomes a guardian of treasure. The treasure is not only gold, it is wisdom, insight, liberation. And what better protector than a being who once tried to steal or hoard, but who now stands in devoted service of truth? In Vajrayana Buddhism, Yakshas are absorbed into mandalas as part of the Dharma protectors. They represent the transformation of base instinct into enlightened force, symbols of how raw energy, when met with wisdom, becomes power in service of awakening. This is where mythology meets psychology. The Yaksha reflects the shadow in us, the parts we fear, suppress, or misunderstand. Buddhism does not suggest we slay the shadow. It says, understand it, make peace with it, and invite it to serve the Dharma. Because even your darkest impulse can become your fiercest protector. The story of the Yaksha isn't just religious folklore. It is a profound metaphor for human transformation. Each of us has something wild within: anger, desire, jealousy, pride. These energies, like the Yaksha, can cause harm when left untamed. But Buddhism invites us to look at these energies not with fear, but with mindfulness. What if your anger could become clarity? What if your jealousy revealed your unmet needs? What if your fear simply pointed to what you love? When the Buddha encountered Yakshas, he did not destroy them. He offered presence. In some accounts, Simply being in his radiance caused the Yaksha to bow, to weep, to transform. That is the power of deep awareness. It transforms through being, not force. So how do we bring this into daily life? First, through mindfulness. The next time you feel a surge of emotion, anger, fear, craving, pause, breathe, name it, say, Yaksha has arisen. And rather than fighting it, ask, what do you need? What are you protecting? Second, through compassion. Many inner demons were born from pain. Perhaps a harsh word in childhood, a deep loss, a time you were not seen. When you approach these parts with kindness, you heal them. And healing is the beginning of service. Third, through intention. In Buddhism, we speak of transforming the kleshas, the afflictive emotions, into wisdom. The wrath of a yaksha can become the fierce compassion of a bodhisattva. Your anger, when directed skillfully, can protect others. Your fear when faced becomes courage. Daily practice might include visualization. Imagine a yaksha at your gate, fierce, loyal, watching over your mind. Let it remind you, the wildness in you is not wrong. It simply needs guidance. Finally, community. Just as yakshas became guardians of monastics, we too are called to protect one another, to stand at the gates of each other's suffering and say, you are safe. I am here. The yaksha is not just a figure of redemption. It is a map, a path from chaos to clarity, from fear to service, from demon to protector, and perhaps from you to your highest self. As we near the end of this journey, let us return to that image, the ancient forest, the mist, the shadow. Let us walk again where the yaksha once dwelled. But this time we do not fear. We know now that even the most terrifying presence can be met with wisdom. We know now that what looks like a demon may simply be a wound, misunderstood. We know that in the light of the Buddha's gaze, even chaos bows. You too carry yakshas within, and that is not shameful. That is your raw material for transformation. May you meet your own fierce parts with courage. May you transform anger into protection, fear into understanding, confusion into clarity. May you, like the yaksha, stand one day not as a threat, but as a guardian. And if this story stirred something within you, tell us. What yaksha lives in your heart, and how might you redeem it? Comment below. Share your insight. Like this video if it helped you see something new. Subscribe if you want more stories of myth and meaning. And until next time, may your mind be vast. May your heart be clear. May your yakshas become your allies. Namo Buddhaya.